Picture this: a hospital room in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. A 19-year-old kid, weight big as a house, dreams as wide as a football field, sitting in a plastic chair, being told that his newborn baby girl, might never walk. The doctors had a name for it: spina bifida, a condition where the spine doesn't fully close in the womb. And this kid, he had no money, no plan, no boxing gloves, and now a daughter who needed him to figure something out fast. That kid's name was Deontay Wilder, and what he decided to do next changed heavyweight boxing forever. Welcome to Knockout Kings Elite. I'm your host, and this is episode 1 of the Deontay Wilder series. The story nobody tells the way it deserves to be told. Stay with me, because this one hits different. Now, before we get into the gloves and the belts and the walk-off knockouts, we need to understand something. Deontay Wilder was not supposed to be a boxer, not even close. Born and raised in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a city better known for the Crimson Tide than for producing world heavyweight champions, young Deontay was a multi-sport athlete. Basketball, football, baseball, track. The guy played everything. His dream? The NBA, maybe the NFL, college plans, ambitions, a roadmap for his life. And then, life did what life does. At 19 years old, Deontay became a father. His daughter Naya arrived with a diagnosis that stopped everything. Spina bifida, the condition affecting the spinal cord, meant she faced surgeries, mounting medical bills, and a future that doctors said looked uncertain. They told him she might never walk. Now here's the part I need you to sit with for a second. This is a 19-year-old kid, no degree, no career, no money, and the doctors are telling him his baby girl is going to need a level of care that most grown adults with full-time jobs couldn't afford. Most people in that situation would crumble. Deontay Wilder looked at that situation and said, bet. So what does a man do when his back is completely against the wall? Deontay dropped out of Shelton State Community College. He picked up 2 jobs, serving tables at IHOP and Red Lobster, and driving a Budweiser truck. No disrespect to those jobs. That is honest, hard work. But for a man 6'7" with a right hand that could rearrange your face, he knew he needed to aim somewhere bigger. Here's where it gets good. He walked into a boxing gym at 20 years old. 20 years old. For context, most professional fighters have been training since they were 8 or 9 years old. Hundreds of amateur fights, tournaments since childhood. Wilder walked in as practically a grown man and told them he wanted to be heavyweight champion of the world. The people in that gym probably tried not to laugh, tried being the key word. Because Wilder didn't learn boxing through years of theory and technique, he learned it the way a man learns anything when he's desperate. With urgency, with pressure, and with everything on the line. His daughter's medical bills weren't going to wait. The clock was ticking, and that pressure, that's what forged him. Forged by pressure. Now I want you to understand what happened next, because it is almost impossible. In 2007, just 2 years after picking up boxing gloves for the first time, Deontay Wilder won the National Golden Gloves Tournament. The Golden Gloves. For non-boxing fans, that's like walking into a basketball gym at 20, never having played organized ball, and making the all-star team in 2 years. He was beating fighters with 10, 15 years of experience on him. Then in 2008, Beijing, the Olympic Games. Deontay Wilder, a man who less than 3 years earlier was driving a beer truck in Alabama, was now representing the United States of America on the world stage. He brought home a bronze medal. Let that breathe for a second. Bronze, Olympic, medal in under 3 years of boxing, and the whole time, through every training session, every amateur bout, every flight to a tournament, he was thinking about one person, Naya, his daughter. The reason he started, he said it himself, she is the reason I fight. That's not just a feel-good story, that's a heavyweight origin story. A man who got backed into the tightest corner of his life and threw the biggest right hand he had. After the Olympics, Wilder turned professional, and he brought that same raw, desperate energy with him into the paid ranks. Now, and I say this with love and respect, Wilder's style is not what you'd call textbook. If you watched him fight, it looked less like a chess match and more like he was trying to end a parking dispute with one punch. His footwork had people questioning things. His defense had coaches losing sleep. But that right hand, that was something nobody had seen at heavyweight in a long time. He went on a historic knockout run through the professional ranks. Fighter after fighter, gone. The right hand was like a magic trick that never got old. Fans started calling him the Bronze Bomber, and in January 2015, 10 years after walking into a boxing gym for the first time, Deontay Wilder defeated Bermane Stiverne to become the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the first American-born heavyweight world champion in 9 years, a man who started boxing at 20 to pay his daughter's medical bills. Standing in the ring, belt around his waist, every doubter proved wrong, and Nayaya, after multiple surgeries and years of fighting her own battle, she learned to walk. Doctors said she might never do it, but she did, because that family doesn't know how to accept impossible, made under pressure. Now here's where I have to stop you, because if I told you this was a clean, straightforward success story, I'd be lying to you, because at the absolute peak of his career, belt on his waist, money in the bank, daughter beating the odds, fans calling him one of the most feared heavyweights of all time. A man from Manchester, England walked into Deontay Wilder's world, Tyson Fury, and what followed between these two men was one of the most dramatic, controversial, and emotionally charged trilogies in boxing history. Conspiracy theories, spiked water bottles, a trainer Wilder felt betrayed him, a split decision that still haunts him to this day, and a press conference in London in 2026 where Wilder stood up out of his chair and advanced on a TV host who wouldn't stop asking about it. That's episode 2, and I promise you, it is wild. You just watched episode 1 of the Deontay Wilder series right here on Knockout Kings Elite. And if you stayed to this point, you already know more about the real Deontay Wilder than 90% of boxing fans on this platform. But here's what you don't know yet. Episode 2 is where a man at the top of the world starts to come apart at the seams. And one fight with Tyson Fury cracks everything open. That episode is already done. It is sitting there waiting for you. Subscribe right now. Hit that bell notification, because episode 2 drops this week. And if you are not subscribed, YouTube will not show it to you. That's just the algorithm. Don't let it win. We're building something real over here at Knockout Kings Elite. We don't do highlight reels. We don't do surface level recaps. We tell the full story, the drama, the glory, the downfall, all of it. Knockout Kings Elite, built for fighters. I'll see you in episode 2.